Hey guys, good evening and welcome to another video. Today's topic is going to be on the marijuana stocks and whether or not now is finally a good time to enter them. Now, if you have been paying attention at all during the last couple of years, you would know that there was a massive bubble that formed around the cannabis industry. Now, bubbles are historically easy to spot, it's just always difficult to know when they're going to finally pop. This kind of happened during the same time that the cryptocurrency bubble blew up. And I was actually investing in both of those asset classes during that time. And I remember buying Canopy, I think it was around, the first time I got into it was around $12, so probably sometime around later 2017. And I rode that baby all the way up to about 35. Felt pretty comfortable in my gains. I had made over 100%. And well, I was a little disappointed when I saw how high things got, but you have to be very pragmatic whenever you're investing on speculation, and don't ever get too caught up in FOMO. I'm not going to sell something at that much gain and then rebuy when it goes higher. I'm going to wait for the fundamentals to crash back down to earth and see what happens. And we saw what happened. So from the peak in I believe it was around May, April, May of this year, the price per share was almost 70 Canadian dollars, and today it's $20.96, which is a total of a 70% loss. Now, that is not fun. I remember many of my friends coming to me who never invested in stocks before. And I've been investing in stocks. I'm very much typically a value investor. I'm a fan of guys like Financial Education on YouTube. I like Warren Buffett. And a lot of my friends all of a sudden had a budding interest in marijuana stocks, and I was telling them to be very careful because that was around, that was the summer of 2018. That was when things were finally getting legalized, and I was telling them to stay away. Buy an ETF, buy a mutual fund. Don't be investing in a highly speculative asset because you're probably going to get burned. But let's look at the news. Are things turning around for Canopy Growth Corp? If you didn't hear in the news, there was actually a partnership with Drake. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. I didn't read too hard into that as I'm not particularly interested. But maybe Drizzy can turn it around for them. I actually am looking pretty close to this stock now. If you look at where it was, at its peak, it sort of had that double top where it got really frothy around the early part of the year, crashed pretty hard down to earth by December, but pumped right back up. These highly speculative assets can have just ridiculous bounces, but if you were looking for a triple top, you would have been burned if you were buying around here. So is it finally priced in now that we're down 70%? Now you never really know. These bubbles can drop 85%, 90%. You never really can know. You do know that the marijuana industry has massive room for growth in the future, and yeah, it's actually this guy here, Justin Trudeau, our prime minister, who first initiated the whole talk around marijuana legalization, at least on a federal level, in a serious way, and that pumped the prices up just ridiculous. I remember I had friends who were talking about marijuana stocks in like 2015, and in 2015, what this was a dollar fifty. So wow, to get onto them would have been pretty sweet, but I didn't get in at that point in time. And I'm probably not going to be getting into this anytime soon. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I know that a lot of the quarterly sale projections were missed and by a massive margin. Just read the article here by the Financial Post, and you'll get a pretty good idea of just how much things have finally crashed down to earth. But these bubble pops can often be the best opportunities for buying, guys. Bubbles form because of exuberant interest in certain industries. In I think 2013, we had a massive bubble around 3D printing because of the implications that technology has in the future. The tech bubble, a lot of those companies died and eventually went away. And marijuana is another thing that we're going to see pop up, not pop up, but rather be legalized by many countries in the next 10, 20 years. You're probably eventually going to see the US legalize it. You're going to see growing legalization across Europe. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting asset class to be investing in for sure if you can pick the right companies. What are those companies? I'm not really sure. A lot of Canadian companies have been internationalizing their hold on certain regions just to get a better grasp of the international market. And I think there's going to be a pretty awesome opportunity here. Is that not the time to buy? Difficult to say. You're not basing this sort of investment off any metrics. It's still important to note that this is still a 7.29 billion-dollar company, and with the sales figures that they just posted, which I believe were about 30 to 40 million for Q4 or it was Q3, I believe. They were underwhelming to say the least. Now this could drop further, and it's difficult to say. But if you were looking to start averaging in, a 70% drop from the top, some would say a discount, but discounts aren't always true if things don't get back up there. It's a pretty good time to be investing. Anyways, guys, if you're interested in the asset class, buy a diversified portfolio in the asset class. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't overexpose yourself to any one asset class. Look at Aurora Cannabis, Etheria, Tilray, Organogram. That's actually a wonderful company. Actually, one of my dad's friends is for familiar with the higher ups there. So yeah, buy a diversified portfolio of marijuana stocks if you want to have exposure to the industry. Don't go all in on any one company because you never really know how things can go. Look at the tech stocks in 2000. Yahoo was the big trumpeter of that sort of rally, and then by the time we got to the modern day, Yahoo is a shadow of what it once was. So keep a diversified portfolio if you want to average in. Don't be stupid with this kind of stuff. Keep in mind you're still investing heavily on speculation. So feel it over the next 3-5 years and see where things go. But again, guys, be really careful whenever you're investing in these kind of asset classes. Things can get really rocky. Anyways, guys, that's all I really got to say on that. Cannabis stocks are down 70%. It seems like things are finally crashing down to earth. That first big rally when it back in 2018, it was actually 2017 is when it rallied really first hard. I thought things were gonna, finally crash around when it got legalized, because it sort of sold the news, but it didn't happen. And we're finally starting to see this kind of lofty bubble come back to earth, and that's when the best opportunities present themselves. Remember, guys, be greedy when others are fearful, and you'll just do just fine. Cheers. Have a nice night. Bye.